And just because you're a hard worker and you do everything that's asked of you, that's not necessarily something that's going to help you in your career long term. Keeping your head down and being a good worker, no.
You need to have your life force energy, your soul. You need to be powerful in yourself. And you'll win in life by having your soul on fire. Welcome to the Soul Powered Revolution, the essential podcast for high-achieving professional women who are done playing small. I'm Coach Mo, ex-CEO, ex-COO, and creator of the Soul Powered Method that has transformed over 2,200 executive women's careers. Each week, we decode the strategies that actually work for women at the leadership level while keeping your soul intact. Because true power isn't about working harder. It's about leading from your soul. If you're ready to stop dimming your light and claim the success you deserve, you're in the right place. New episodes drop weekly. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and join the revolution of women leading from their soul power. Let's dive in. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Soul Powered Revolution podcast. I have a beautiful client. I'm going to let her introduce herself to you because isn't that one of the great aspects of going through Soul Power Career Coaching, that you have a big voice, you're owning yourself. Welcome to our guest of honor. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Elisa, and I did the Soul Powered coaching starting in February of this year. And now I am in my dream job with a salary that I had bigger than I would ever have dreamed of.
Yeah. And Lisa, you booked your clarity call when things were pretty grim. Tell us what was going on in your job and career at that time.
In my past job, I felt like I was in a rut. And I knew I was terribly, terribly underpaid. I had been there for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And knowing that other people were getting promoted and getting raises while I felt like I was just stuck in one place. I did ask for promotions and raises and had put together a list of all the things that I was doing for the company and, just compared with other comparable salaries. I did my research, sent that up Thursday morning, and by Thursday afternoon, it was shot down. My request was shot down. They didn't even consider it. And at that point, I thought, it's time to go. I am not valued here. I know I have more to offer, and I need to go somewhere else.
Yeah. And you're saying it with a little bit of an upbeatness because of how you now feel about yourself.
Yes.
But you were devastated that they didn't see your value.
Depressed. I was not in the best of health. I was depressed. I did not know what to do. I was already considering leaving. I was considering retirement. I didn't have a clear direction. I was thinking about starting my own company. I really had no direction. I was spinning my wheels, but I knew I didn't want to stay there anymore.
Yeah. When you're told that you have no additional value, when you're not granted additional compensation, when you're there 22 years and you're feeling like you're just being put upon, it crushes your soul.
Yes. It was soul crushing. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where your power comes from. So of course you didn't know what you were going to do next. And it feels like you're being defeated. At some point you saw one of my ads or something like that and you clicked on, you had one of our clarity calls. What did you experience during that clarity call that had you go, I should do this?
I think I was happy to go where I was needed. I like to be needed, obviously. But it was not something that I was doing for myself. I was always giving to others.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And as I've gotten to know you through the coaching, you're a very talented engineer. You've done some really cool projects, and you were even involved at a high level in your professional association. Like,
Yes.
you're not a
Yeah.
bump on a log sitting around, expecting people to, do for you. Like, you have put in the time and the effort to have your expertise and experience to be valued. Now, as we got into the coaching, as we did the step one, which is the soul work and your soul values, you're coming forward, you're really trying hard. The negative environment and how you were feeling about yourself seemed to be a bit of a heavy thing to get through. And I think at one point you decided, you know what, I'm going to have to do something about this. Let's just share that a little bit without, again, you don't have to get as personal as whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I, like I mentioned earlier, I was extremely depressed, and on top of that, dealing with some physical illness, and just knowing that I had some professional help. Your team has dealt with women in my situation, many women that have been in my situation.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I needed to do something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
knowing that I did not want to go back, I'm trying to think of what I need to say here.
You freed some time up, shall we say. You
Yes,
freed some time up.
I made time to do the
Yes.
coaching.
There we go.
Yes,
And
I took
that
some time
that
off.
allowed you to, yeah, that allowed you to lean in fully.
Mhm.
And I got to say, watching you go through the 12 weeks, you showed up for yourself and you were vulnerable, and you let us coach you. You let us coach you, um, and we just kept watching you expand and feel more confident and feel better about yourself. And then weeks in, we understand the professional accomplishments that you've had. We helped you develop your beautiful world class, we call it the $1 million resume, and LinkedIn. And then, of course, you sat with Coach Stacey to do interview prep, and you began applying for the right jobs at companies that were your envy companies, right?
Yes. Coach Stacey helped me a lot. So, and I feel like she definitely has a hard ass image, and I feel like I really needed that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she is a no nonsense person. She tells you exactly what it is and is honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And talking with friends and family about my career is not the same as speaking to a professional career coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially one who was a CEO in the past and knows how to help other women wield their power and be able to speak powerfully in an interview. You're a soft-spoken woman. You're an engineer, so you're very detail oriented.
Yes.
You're not braggadocious, but we had to get you a place where you could talk about your accomplishments and what your value is in a way that felt right for you. We didn't
Yes.
turn you into someone you're not. We actually helped you
No.
turn you into you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that just filling out the blueprint was so helpful to get my thoughts out onto just out of my head into a spreadsheet,
Mm-hmm.
onto paper, and
Yes.
made it much more clear what I wanted. And Coach Stacey even encouraged me, not just what you want, like go big,
Yes.
go really big. Like, what is
Yes.
the minimum salary you want? What are the
Mm-hmm.
requirements you want in the next job that you land?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you began to apply for jobs. You began to interview.
Actually, before I even applied, recruiters were contacting me. Once
The magic of the
I
LinkedIn being
updated my
optimized.
LinkedIn,
Yes.
and you know, I had to expedite um, Portia. Is it Portia working on my
Yes.
resume?
Juanita on the resume, Portia on LinkedIn.
Juanita on the
Yep.
resume.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
had to expedite that because recruiters were already asking for it. And I think just in the third or fourth week, I had already had many interviews lined up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And really
Yep.
filling out the applications was just a formality. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
Exactly.
was amazed at how many
Mm-hmm.
interviews I crammed into such a short time and so soon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you got yourself all coached up and ready to be uh, the version of you that you needed to be to advance those interviews. How many offers did you end up having that you were able to make choices from?
I ended up I I ended up with two offers, and I had just told the other companies I'm tired of interviewing. I was tired of interviewing, so I just
Yeah.
said I I don't need another offer.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was a good thing I didn't accept the first offer because the second offer came higher. And surprisingly, that second offer was the company that I thought I wanted to go to. I really envisioned myself at that company. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but after the interview process was through, the the first offer that I got, the company from that first offer really resonated with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was I went with my gut. I trusted my gut,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
um, it turns out they were willing to match the higher offer. So,
Yes. Yes.
yep,
And they waited for you as well.
they waited for me.
Yeah.
They
We did
initially
some bold
asked,
moves managing your interview timelines and
it
helping
was
you.
it was wonderful to learn how to negotiate. Um, Not only asking for more time, they were very open to me. They understood that I have been at the same company for 20 years and that I wanted to do my due diligence and interview with all the companies. And
Mhm.
it's a good thing I ended up going back to them anyway.
Yeah.
I negotiated a higher compensation based on the second offer that I got.
Yep.
Um, and I'm able to have a hybrid work from home schedule. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And had you put yourself out there following the defeat of your then company of 22 years saying, "We're not going to increase you at all. We're not going to give you anything." Like that version of you would never have even been able to impress someone on an interview. I mean, with all due respect, I remember that version of you, and she was pretty down on herself.
I was pretty down. I think I would have accepted any offer that came to me. I
Just
would
to balance.
not be, I would
Yeah.
not have been confident enough to ask for what I thought was I was worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And here you go, multiple interviews, two great offers, going back to negotiate the first offer, feeling in your power, and you were able to not only have all that done in 12 weeks, but you went on a girls trip, as I recall, before you even
I
started your
did.
new job. So you had a little space to enjoy life.
Yep,
Um,
I negotiated
and
my starting date and was able to
yeah,
fit in a trip before then.
yeah, yeah. And then you put a picture in our Facebook group when you started your new job. Tell us about your new office.
Oh, that's when I was filling out the blueprint, um, I it asked, what is your dream job? What is like say anything about your dream job. And one of the things I wrote down was a nice office with big windows and lots of light. And I did get that. So it's funny how even just that little thing. Well, actually, it's not little. I really love my office, and it does help with my commute. It encourages me to go there, and I'm excited to go to the office every day now. Not that I go
Yeah,
every day, but when I go to the office, I'm excited to go.
right,
Whereas
right.
with my old job, I was just like every morning I'd wake up and I don't want to go. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to go. Now it's like
Yes.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so great. You're valued. You're paid your worth. Uh, you now have self confidence about contributing on the projects and speaking up and doing your thing and knowing that they hired you because of your expertise and experience. How does this feel, having a completely different chapter of your life open for you and living this way?
It is wonderful. I have so much more confidence. I'm more clear on what I want, what I'm not willing to tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to decision making, I am more strategic.
Mm-hmm.
I really trust my logical self, my analytical self,
Mm-hmm.
that I can come up with strong, logical, and creative solutions at work now
Yeah.
and in my life.
Having,
Like
yeah, right.
these
I was going to
changes
say,
are
having all of that for work makes your entire life better.
yes, yeah. These it's not just my work life that's improved. It's like all areas.
Mm-hmm. What do people who love you say about this transformation?
Oh, I've had many people say they are so proud of me and they're telling their friends about me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are amazed. Like they've seen changes in me. And,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not very often that you hear about people getting a 60% raise.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So,
That's
of course,
right.
I'm very
And
happy
folks,
about
those are
that.
those are real numbers,
Yes.
with a real person, and not unusual. As you know, while you were in the workshop, you saw other women advancing and doing great things. If you were to talk to Elisa when she got that response back from her company, um, from today's version, what would you say to her? What would you say to that sort of wounded and depleted version of you?
Oof. It is hard to think back to that
Mm,
sad, sad woman.
mm,
Um, it's hard to take advice. But if I was to take advice from my future self, don't put up with this. You're miserable. Don't stay just because it's easy.
mm.
Sometimes the best things come with hard work, and it takes time and hard work.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's one thing that may have surprised you about the coaching?
Something that surprised me. I guess I didn't have any expectations about the coaching because I'd never had
Okay.
coaching before. Not certainly
Okay.
not like this.
Yes.
Um,
Right. Was there an aha moment or something that you're like, wow, I didn't even know that was possible, or anything like that is on the top of your mind?
I think um, I really started getting my confidence when I did started doing the interview practice with Coach Stacey.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
I had done all the homework and filled out, like, reviewed all the practice questions. And
Yeah.
she was just sending those questions and I was answering. And she's like, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. Additional comments here and there. And I was starting, I have this. I know this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was,
Yeah.
that was a nice turning point. And
Yeah.
then when the first offer came, and that was a huge, huge confidence builder
Yes.
because I thought I had put a big number in my blueprint, and this number was even bigger than my dream number. I was
And
like,
then they even
wow, I was
increased it from
really,
there.
really
Yeah.
undervaluing myself.
Right. That's what
And
happens after years and years of being underpaid, underemployed.
yeah,
You just don't even know if it's possible to recover from that,
yes,
um,
you don't have that.
emotionally, spiritually, financially. There's a lot more possible for you now in your life, that you feel the way that you feel, that
Yeah,
you are being compensated and valued the way that you are. And perhaps retirement felt like a quick solution. But gosh, you've got more years in your career, and being a woman in the STEM field, we're always eager to make sure, and I know that you're active in your professional association, that we get more women into engineering fields. And I think there's so much that you can do to uplift even young professionals and let them know, because women tend to put up with stuff. They tend to compromise on their value.
Yes.
What would you tell someone who is 40 years old, struggling and not sure if she has what it takes? What would you say to her?
If she's struggling, and if I know she has it, it's hard to tell yourself to believe in yourself. What could I tell her to tell her to believe in herself?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good message.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess just,
What do you now know about holding your power as a professional woman that you didn't know in February?
I think just because you're a hard worker and you do everything that's asked of you, that's not necessarily something that's going to help you in your career long term. Keeping your head down and being a good worker, no. Did not get
That's
me anywhere.
it. That's it. You need to have your life force energy, your soul. You need to be powerful in yourself.
Yes.
And again, we've worked with a lot of introverted women like you, shy, not changing anyone's personality, but you now know your worth. You know how to ask for more. You know how to keep the tolerance level of not being valued. You know how to judge that now.
Yes.
And
Oh, yeah.
and you're not going to tolerate that. I mean, you don't have to now, because now you're at this place where you're just hanging out at a different place vibrationally.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Life's different.
before, I think,
Life's different in the penthouse.
yes. Yes. I think, yeah, definitely as a woman, I felt like tolerating things was a good thing. And doing what you need to do, your regular job responsibilities, okay, good. At some point, I think I was just tired and not wanting to do above and beyond anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once I got shot down, like, I'm really done.
Yeah. Yeah. You have tools for life now to keep your soul vibrant and active. What's possible for you now that you are in this stride and there's more life for you?
Well, right now, this is amazing. I never thought I would be the lead of a technical team. We're growing the team. Before I was, I never had anyone under me, but now we are building this team that I am going to be the technical lead of. This is something I've always strived for, and
Yeah.
like using my analytical skills and creativity to help communities, and being known in the field for my expertise, and training younger engineers or less experienced engineers in doing this work and continuing the improvement of the environment. This is all that I wanted
Yeah.
and more.
So good. Yeah. Yeah. And from a citizen of the world perspective, I personally want more women like you to be in power. You care about things, you have a generous heart, you want to do good work, you want to do right by how you do things, and that's who we want in power. So I just can't beam enough of being happy about your journey and how you leaned into the coaching, how you followed through and everything. You allowed us to help you find your power gear and do all the right things so that you could land this great job and feel this way about you. And now it's permanent fixture inside of you, who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I would
Yes.
not be in this position without this coaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So happy for you. I am so delighted to see you again. I'm so delighted for the great work that you put in and leaned into our expertise so that you could be here, and the way that you negotiated like you were an absolute pro to make this offer the best offer that you got. And you went back to the table. I mean,
Yes.
you were fearless with your follow through. You were fearless with your follow through, and it's really, really delightful. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up this wonderful interview with you, Elisa?
Oh, I just want to thank you and all the coaches for, helping me bring my courageous, creative self back and,
Yeah.
making my life so much better for it. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Folks, Elisa's story is inspiring. And wow, it's like when you lean into a formula that works, when you lean to coaches know what they're talking about, experts, and I can just say this with enough congruency and alignment, we know what we're doing. And when we have a woman like Elisa who's got education, experience, and expertise, and she's not where she wants to be, and she knows it. This is where we do our best work. So congratulations, Elisa. Really, really great to see you. You are shining, and you have already made the world a better place by being a better you. Congratulations. And folks, engineer, accountant, marketing, doesn't matter what your profession is, we can help elevate your career. Soul Powered Careers. Thank you very much, Elisa. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everything that women face in the corporate world, in life actually, can be counterattacked, counteropposed by a woman's powerful internal sense of being. And I call that your soul power. I want to help more women understand their soul power, and I want to create a soul-powered revolution. This is Coach Mo, mofall.com.